You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rockin' if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true I love it. Crank it up, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this.
Break it down like this.
You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. We got this. On a higher level. On a higher level. We got
Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. So happy to be back on the podcast. I took some time off because obviously you all know that I had to fly all the way from Indonesia back to the United Kingdom. It was a very, very long flight. It was like this first flight was 5 hours, and then I had a 5 hour layover. And then I had an 11-hour flight, which was the longest flight I think I've ever had. Um, and gosh, it took so much out of me, so much. Um, I I actually underestimated just how tired I was, but it wasn't just like physically tired. I think just emotionally tired and going like I've been traveling for almost 16 months, and just so much has happened in that time. I feel like I've lived like five different lives, and it's so strange actually to just come back and it's like everything is just the same. Not that I expected it to be different, but it's a very weird feeling when you go away for so long and so much happens, and then you come back and it feels like things have like stopped in time where like you've come from. So thank you again for all being there on my journey, for being there, especially during the hardest part of my journey. When this channel was like demonetized, just your kindness, your generosity, your support, like I can't tell you how much it carried me. And let me also just give a special thank you to Lightside, because she's just gone above and beyond, and always just been a voice, sorry, a shoulder to lean on throughout the entire year. But thank you all so much because I appreciate it. I'm not back permanently. I don't know how long I'll be back, but I am back and I'm happy to be back for now and just to be surrounded by friends and family again. Lily, how does it feel to be back in England? Do you know, I am actually genuinely happy to be back. I think there's definitely things that think I appreciate more about my country now. I know why I left and I know why I'm not staying permanently, but nonetheless, I am happy to be, I love my country. I really do. I just don't like who governs it. I otherwise really, really love my country. And um, it's a shame certain things are happening, but is that's just how it is everywhere. This is not just the UK, it's not just me. Like this is a global problem. Um, but distance makes the heart grow fonder. And I the very next day, I literally took a walk out around my local neighborhood. I went to the forest, just smelling the sweet forest air, being able to actually have a sidewalk to walk on, a flat sidewalk, like all these little things that I notice that I pick up on now and that I appreciate so much. And thank you so much for your welcome back messages. Thank you so much, Rose, for the super chat. Much, much appreciated. Thank you. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Now, obviously, I've been gone some time, and while I have been gone, you had the day 2 and day 3 of Harry and Meghan's Nigerian tour, which was a success. Oh my goodness. Gonna get into everything that I missed, but all around, it was phenomenal. And you know what's so interesting is I've heard so many comments from the tabloid media and the talking heads in the media saying things like, oh well, tours like this they take so long to plan, and Harry and Meghan just had to throw it together, and they didn't have the expertise of the palace. And well, hasn't this just proven that A, they didn't actually need it, they can do stuff on their own. B, I guess you don't need all of that, time and planning when you've got two people that have intense work ethic and also collaborators that are willing to work with them because they were actually invited. So a lot of the work was done on the side of those who invited them, and Harry and Meghan have a great team themselves. So doesn't it just prove that we don't have to waste so much taxpayers' money doing tours like this? And even more so, I think where a lot of the um, anger and frustration is coming from when it comes to Harry and Meghan's haters is um, the fact that they were welcomed so warmly. The crowds were there, the support was there, the warmth was there, and that they actually came um, to do something impactful. This was not a smile and wave tour. This was not a show up and just take pictures tour and roll around in jeeps tour. This tour was designed to create impact, and it did. I'm going to go on to some of the things that the Nigeria are now implementing for servicemen and women following this tour. It also brought eyes to Nigeria. A lot of people are now interested in visiting that maybe weren't interested in visiting before. It brought attention to a lot of causes, and it brought attention to the culture. A lot of things that I've learned about Nigerian culture the last week that I didn't know. And also, one of the disappointing things that I've seen in the tabloids is the way in which they jumped to, in their dislike of Harry and Meghan, the way in which they began to attack Nigeria. So, focusing on a lot of the negatives, saying things like, oh, Nigeria is dangerous and this, that, and the third. Well, you know, are there certain, issues politically, socially in Nigeria? Yes. Do those things define Nigeria? No. Nigeria is a big country. And should those things, be used or weaponized to paint one picture of Nigeria? Absolutely not. But that's what a lot of the UK tabloids and talking heads have been doing, which is completely and utterly unfair. More so, the fact that this trip was designed to create impact for servicemen and women, and they choose to ignore that and be bigoted instead, and that is very disappointing. But of course, they're upset that it's Harry and Meghan that get to enjoy this glory. But at the end of the day, they've done the work. Invictus Games is Harry's. That's why they were there, and Meghan is there to support her husband and also the initiatives of Archwell's, particularly those that center around empowering women, and we'll get into that as well. But I just wanted to start with that introduction because it's been incredible to watch just how successful this tour was. But it's also been very disappointing. But what else were we expecting? To see the way in which Harry and Meghan have been attacked because this tour has been so successful. These are all of Meghan's fashions. We got to see her and Harry so much more than we actually thought we would. Um, I actually didn't think we would get this well fed, and we have been well fed, both with the impact that they are creating and with the fashion. Meghan looking very fine, wearing a mixture of um African and Nigeria, sorry, American designers as well. Sorry, and if you go on to the who is it? What Megan wore? She does a really good job of identifying outfits, but also Rebecca, Duchess of Sussex, on Instagram. She also does a really good job of identifying outfits as well. Uh, but obviously, if you wanted to buy anything, most of it is sold out. Actually, the red dress, that brand, their website actually crashed. But onto the impact. One of the first things, so Nigerian army is going to build an Invictus Center for wounded personnel. Fantastic. And they other countries are now interested in inviting Harry and Meghan. So we are going to get to see a lot more of this. Because at the end of the day, they bring the eyes, they bring the attention. We're all watching and tweeting and Instagramming and excited to see where they're going and what they're doing. Some other things that I didn't get to cover when I wasn't here. They went to, I think is this sit down volleyball? So there was this event. There was also a charity polo event, which was really nice. Actually, I think that was with children. So it did get me wondering, because Harry is doing um, a documentary on polo. Polo is often seen as a very elitist sport because it's very expensive. It's very expensive to learn how to, first of all, ride a horse, just in general. But polo, it is seen as very elitist and quite exclusionary. And so I do wonder, perhaps, if part of that documentary or part of the initiative is to get polo to be more inclusive and give more access. But that was really nice to see them at the charity polo um, event, because I think polo is a sport that is generally seen as elitist and for one certain demographic or income. Megan also did an event empowering women, and there were several speakers there. She spoke about finding out about her Nigerian heritage. They also went to several, I think this was what was this, a state dinner event. There was this one, and there was another one. I've got pictures from that. Megan in this beautiful yellow dress, the same yellow dress that she wore when they announced that uh, Lilibet was when Megan was pregnant with Lilibet. This is obviously the colorized version. Um, so she wore that same dress. That was a repeat. I believe that's a Carolina Herrera dress. Um, this was at another event. Oh, I think this was an event, something to do with wildlife. I think it was. Give me a sec, folks. Sorry, because I was out of the loop so much, trying to get the details for everything. Was a bit of a struggle. So this was for, what was this for now? Oh yes, this was for the unveiling of the partnership between Archwell Foundation and Giants of Africa in Lagos. Okay, so that's what that was for. And then in the yellow dress, they were at the state governor house in Lagos, Nigeria. That's they had gone to that. And also this wrap that Megan is wearing, that was I believe that was actually gifted to her the day before. And the designer that who gifted Megan this, I went to her Instagram and she doesn't actually have a lot of followers, so she's gonna really blow up after this because a lot of people were asking where can we get this, where can we buy it, and the way it was styled as well, like modern with traditional. Like I would actually wear this out and about. It was styled so well. This at another event, I really liked Megan's dress here. And also this was at an evening function. Interestingly enough, they at this evening function they actually played the national anthem. Like they played it, so they were still like respectful. And that's what's so disappointing. The way in which Nigeria was being disrespected, but they were still respectful. They played "God Save the King." But the contrast between Harry and Meghan's Nigerian tour and the Caribbean tour. I mean, what can you say? You know, one was organized by the so-called professionals in the palace, the other one by Harry, Meghan, and their people. So there was also an exclusive in People magazine, and we got details about Harry and Meghan's upcoming plans, saying there will be more travel like Nigeria to come. People understand that the Sussexes received additional invites while they were on their visit. There's only so much one can do from home and over Zoom, Harry tells People. So we look forward to traveling more. There will always be reasons to meet the people at the heart of our work. Back home in Montecito, Meghan will continue to champion her endeavors, including her new lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchid, while Harry's new chief of staff, Josh Kettler, prepares to guide him through his next phase. And Harry has so much on his plate as well. I mean, Invictus is just one. And he's also he works with Better Up, his chief impact officer. And then you've got their investment with Ethics investment company. And then Megan was at that, private VC firm getaway thing the other week. So there's so much that they are doing at once, and it just shows their level of work ethic. And then obviously we have the cooking show and also the polo show, and then also also the podcast. Megan's new podcast coming very very soon. So just wow. And yeah, those were pictures that they were snapped at the airport going home. And Miss San Harriam, who was there the whole time, took some incredible pictures. Said Prince Harry and Meghan's trip. Oh, sorry, he retweeted this saying Prince Harry and Meghan's trip to Nigeria was a masterclass in cultural diplomacy, the social impact, hospitality, foreign culture, celebration, and community engagement shows that Nigeria and Sussexes are global powerhouses. Hashtag services universal. Hashtag thank you Nigeria. And yeah, I mean, you can't deny just the way they were welcomed, the hospitality, and there was a video where they asked Harry, "Oh, will you be coming back to Nigeria?" And he said, "Absolutely," because the hospitality was amazing. Can I say thank you so much to Church Nelly for the coffees and always being an amazing mod, and also to RR Carter as well, much much appreciated, and thank you for the welcome back. Let's see. Yeah, exactly, Teresa. There are issues in every country that they don't define the country, and they shouldn't be what we focus on, especially when the focus should be on servicemen and women. Yes, Joe blogs, when people deliberately and purposefully choose to overlook your impact and focus on their resentment, it speaks volumes. The UK tabloids continue to demonstrate their ignorance, indeed. Yeah, I really love what she did with the rap as well. It was just very modern and chic. Okay. Um, Unfortunately, the negative ninnies in the tabloids are, you know, it's what we've come to expect, but I feel like it's getting to the point where it's like they can't even hold their tongues anymore. And they're just going way too far. So this is Christopher Wilson, who is I don't want to call him a reporter. He's just one of these commentators. And he posted this. Now, I want to also say that this has now been deleted. I believe he does go on the talk show sometimes and talks bad about the Sussexes. But he said, desperate to show his wife they were still royal in the eyes of the world, the Duke of Windsor took Wallis, that's Wallis Simpson, on a tour of Germany in 1937. They were greeted ecstatically. Nigeria's human rights record is not far short of NAZI Germany's. I mean, uh, if I had to sit here and unpack that comment, we'd be here all day. But why? Even if you truly feel such hatred in your heart, why would you put a tweet like this out? And yes, he did delete it straight away. And then you also had Kevin O'Sullivan, who's a presenter on Talk TV. He posted this: great weird pretend royal tour of dodgy Nigeria by Harry and Meghan. Where's next? Somalia? And then Afua Hagan, she's a black lady who's also on, well, she's on Talk TV, BBC, ITV. You see her around. She responded to that saying, of where? Sorry. And I think that's a reality check to people like Afua who, she's defended Harry and Meghan, but she can sometimes be a fence sitter. Um, I mean, she otherwise wouldn't have a job, I think, if she wasn't. But I think this is a reality check of this is how a lot of these people feel. And the Nigerian tour, let's just remember, actually, I don't even want to call it a tour. The, you know, the business that Harry and Meghan went to do, um, it was at no expense to the British taxpayer. And they were invited to go there. So even I think the way they're trying to wrap this up as a royal tour is it's not accurate at all because this was not a royal tour. They were invited because of their business ventures. Oh, meanwhile, also William was off doing something with the army and decided to pose in front of a Apache helicopter, which is interesting because it's actually Harry that can fly the Apache helicopter. And I believe they gave him a title of the regiment that Harry served in. Y'all can comment on what you think about that in the comment section because I just have nothing to say. Moving on, Christopher Boozy, who was on fire throughout the entire Nigerian tour, he tweeted, Harry and Meghan's Nigerian tour is an example of why certain individuals in the royal family view them as a threat. Harry and Meghan are more popular than them outside of the UK. Not embracing Harry and Meghan was such a dumb mistake indeed. And now you have the likes of Tom Sykes, who usually take the side of the royals a little bit more. He wrote this article saying Meghan and Harry are oddly popular. That could be a problem. Well, why is it a problem? It could have been the very reason why, or should have been the reason why, they were supported to stay. Because there's gotta be people who are in government who are looking at all of this and going, hang on a minute, we're really, really lost. I think they're maybe appreciating now. We really, really lost a soft diplomacy powerhouse in Harry and Meghan. It At first it shocked me, but then afterwards when I thought about it, I'm actually not surprised that Rishi Sunak sent his wife to Harry's Invictus Games um, ceremony. Because there's got to be people in government who are looking at this and going, like, WTF? We really, really lost great ambassadors of our country, and now all the things that Harry and Meghan are going to be doing, they're doing it for their business. They're not doing it on behalf of the United Kingdom or the monarch. But I do wonder if we will, I don't know, get some calls from Parliament. I don't know, because this is a huge loss. Also, I think I actually skipped it on my slides. I'm so sorry for doing so, but oh, where is it now? Where is it now? There was a naming ceremony. Meghan had a naming ceremony. Okay, now I see what's happened. For some reason, give me a sec, folks. For some reason, it hasn't uploaded, so I'm gonna try and do it now. But there was a naming ceremony where Meghan was actually given a Nigerian royal name. And and you had, while it's loading, I'll just go to your comments. And a lot of the countries that are going to invite them, a lot of them are going to be Commonwealth countries. Whew, we're in for a long year, folks. We are in for a long year. Oh yeah, Tom Bauer. Tom Bauer was it on GB News? Made some very interesting comments about Charles, which was quite. I'm going to get into that as well, but it's quite surprising because Bauer, he is a royalist, um, and I don't know if some of these royal reporters and royalist reporters now, if they've just given up completely, and not so much that they're switching sides, but bills have to be paid, and I think they're kind of going down that road of just courting controversy and saying negative things about the other royals just to court controversy, just to get clicks, because they have no access to Harry and Meghan now, and Harry and Meghan are where the money is. But yeah, we'll get into that because that was quite interesting what he said. Oh yeah, here we go. Yes. So, this is from Global Prince. He tweeted, "Do y'all even understand what's going on here? Three kings left their powerful kingdoms to come to Lagos to honor and bestow royalty upon Meghan. She's now a princess of Nigeria in her own right." I'm going to butcher that name, but I'm going to try my best. It's Ada Mazi Omu of Oro Chukwu, Ancient Kingdom. There are levels to this. So these are the three kings that came to see Meghan. Um, and this is such a major statement from the elders that they came and did this. And I think everybody loves an underdog, and despite what the narrative that the tabloids have created, I think good, well-meaning people understand what has gone on the last 7 years. And it's interesting that I think that the tabloids wanted to turn Harry and Meghan, more so Meghan, into this character in the middle of a culture war. But in doing so, it's actually now backfired, because I think part of all of this embracing Meghan and Harry, and supporting them, there is a part of it that I think is to send a message to the establishment, and to say, you may have rejected these two people, but we're going to embrace them. And at the end of the day, Nigeria or anybody else that does so, they're going to benefit greatly. But yeah, so the royal sash that she has, that is the royal coat of arms, African symbology, says that the Arochukwu people are as much prepared for peace as they are prepared for war. So the peace is symbolized by the palm frond. And that's the knotted rope. Sorry, that's the red thing that's circled there. That's the red thing you can see in the middle. And they are also prepared for war, which is symbolized by the GUN and the sword and the shield. So a very strong message there being sent by the elders. I don't think that was by accident at all. I don't think this naming ceremony was by accident at all. And I think there's so much for both Harry and Meghan, but I think more so Meghan, to digest. When they get home, I think this is a trip of a lifetime that's going to stick with them, especially for Meghan, trying to get more in touch with her roots and her heritage. But that happened, and that was very interesting and unexpected. This is one title that they can't strip them of. But I mean, title or no title, your aura is what makes you a queen. Okay. Yeah, I think Tom Bauer is a bit of a loose cannon. I think all of the royal reporters, even the ones that are more royalist, they've all become loose cannons because you know they need to make money. They need to make money. And so, like I said, or I've been saying from the beginning, they will eventually turn if it suits them. At the end of the day, they have a bottom line. Okay, let's go on to yeah. Okay, I'll just touch lightly on what Tom Bauer said. He made a comment that Tom Bauer didn't wasn't too sorry Charles wasn't too fond of going to African countries. Um, and again, I don't know why Bauer would say this on GB News, being that he is meant to be, you know, someone who props up Charles's image, but for whatever reason he said it. They also had the unveiling of Charles's portrait. There's been a lot of discussion about the symbolism behind this, the use of the color red, the butterfly on his shoulder is very strong. I have to say, from an artistic perspective, not a huge fan of Charles, but from an artistic perspective, I actually really like this. Um, the way that it was done, but it's the color and symbolism and the imagery. I have to say is quite interesting. Um, I definitely have my thoughts about it, but I'm going to keep that to myself for now. But very, very bold, so bold actually that when they had the unveiling and Charles, you know, pulled the curtain back, he was almost startled. But it's very different from any other type of royal portrait I've actually seen before. So taken, I think, more of a creative, artistic spin. I think there was one that they did of Kate, and it was on display for like a few days, and then it got put in the back and just never been seen again. So I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. Maybe she didn't like it. Um, let's see. Churchill, you said it's too Silence of the Lambs for me. Uh Tiger Hub, bloody hell. Yeah, there's been a lot of jokes about that. Trying to keep it PG today. Okay, on to the next thing. Archwell. So there was a minor issue with the filing for Archwell's money. Apparently, this is actually something that happens quite often. It's a common issue and it's very quickly resolved. But as per usual, the tabloids made a huge deal out of it and tried to make it seem like Archwell was illegitimate or doing funny things with their money. So, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, publicly supported Harry and Meghan and their charitable organization Archwell, and he expressed that the situation had been just over exaggerated, and that Archwell is 100% fully compliant. So I'm gonna play what he said. Give me a sec. With respect, I hope people. Oh gosh. I didn't get it on audio, so I'm gonna have to play it on the Archwell unbelievable amount of attention that has been placed on the Archwell Foundation. I'm here at a behavioral health site, a mental health site. Archwell Foundation, run by Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, do extraordinary work, particularly women and girls, but notably around mental health. And I just want folks to know, not only are they in compliance, there's a technical paperwork issue that was wildly over hyped. And with respect, I hope people that ran those headlines run this headline that it was a very typical technical issue around paperwork that persists for so many others as well. And they're in full compliance. And they're a celebrated organization that does great work in the state of California. So I want to clarify that because that's important. And I unbelievable amount of attention. Yeah, there you go. So Archwell is fully compliant. It was completely overblown, and the audacity, because we know about the dodgy dealings of some other people's charities, and that it would be a far better use of uh British taxpayers' time if somebody looked into that. But of course, we know that's not going to happen. And even if it does, it it'll be swept under the rug. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the Archwell, thing, it was just sabotage because of the success of the Nigerian tour. Because also, what I'm hearing is that someone at the General Office um, was apparently the one who sent that information. Now, I don't know. You all, sorry, send that information to the press. Now, you're in the States. You tell me, is this information that can be easily accessible to the public, or was the information initially leaked? You tell me, but some people are saying it was something of a leak. But yeah, it's very unfair. The microscope under Harry and Meghan and the Archwell Foundation especially is going to be under. They will not let anything slide. Um, Last but not least, rather interesting, Rose Hanbury, our favorite Rose. She seems to be popping up in the tabloids a lot more recently. In fact, she was at the badminton horse trials with Queen Camilla and the Tyndalls. She was there. I mean, granted, she's in Aristo circles, so it really may not mean anything. And she wasn't actually, despite the Daily Fail headline, she wasn't actually photographed with Camilla. She was just at the same event, so it could just be Daily Fail clickbait headline. But it's rather interesting that she's coming back into the forefront again. A Royal Fashion Police, which is actually a pro monarchy account, posted this in the middle, and the hat that uh, Rose is wearing, and also Kate was wearing. So even royal fans deciding to be shady and jump on the clickbait also, which is rather interesting. All right, that is all I really wanted to get into today. I just wanted to catch up on some of the things that I have missed and get up to date with you all and just say hi. I'm finally settled. Um, and yeah, happy to be back. Happy to be in a place of familiarity again. All right, let's finish off with your comments and we will wrap things up. Annie, you're saying that the info was definitely leaked. Okay. Denise, you said the governor of the fifth largest economy in the world had to come to fight the UK press. Yeah, imagine. Because really, that's who's spun the narrative completely out of control. Um, let's see. Um, okay. I think I will end it there. Thank you so much, folks. I'm so pleased with how the Archwell team is rolling things out. Like you can definitely tell that there's a slightly different energy now, I feel. And we've just been waiting for this momentum to really start going pretty much since we came out of lockdown, and we know that they were working throughout that whole time. Now we know what they were doing, and it's just a matter of time now before things I think really get going, and I think we start to see Harry and Meghan just a lot more often. I mean, they've given us a lot. Like I feel like we get one thing at least every month, but I think going forward, it will be like two, three things and a lot more seeing them. And to know that we might actually, or we will, get more of these type of tours going to different countries. meeting with officials, especially in relation to Invictus, but I'm sure also other things as well. So always just remember, despite all of the craziness, there is so much good to look forward to. All right, I'll leave that there. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe button on your way out. Yes, Church Nelly, I did receive my coffees. I did. Thank you so much. Sorry, maybe you didn't hear me. But yeah, I did. I said thank you. And thank you again. Thank you for always being a great mod. Thank you to all of the mods. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, folks. We will do a call in at some point because I haven't had one in a while. And I know you all have a lot to say. But yeah, I'll find a good time to do a call in. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, folks. Ciao.
You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rocking if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh.